But outside of that, a player I want to mention here, because we haven't talked about him a lot, is Jordan Love. Because Jordan Love, backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, is not going to be there for much longer. Jordan Love, first round draft pick for the Packers in 2020, 26th overall draft pick that year when the Packers traded up from the 31st pick or 30th pick. They traded up to draft Jordan Love, and Jordan Love has played one game, started one game in the NFL so far. Now, yeah, that NFL debut was awful for Jordan Love, but at the end of the day, I mean, Jordan Love, you saw what he was capable of doing, and I believe an AFC team should try to trade for him. And if you look at the teams who are currently in need of a quarterback, you have four teams. These are top four teams in the AFC in need of a quarterback, and top four teams in the NFC. So I'd expect the Packers to want to trade him to the AFC. So those teams would be Indianapolis Colts, Pittsburgh Steelers being the top two who are in need of a starting quarterback right now, and then Houston Texans and Cleveland Browns, who would likely have Jordan Love if they got him as their backup quarterback. Houston Texans would probably have him backing up Davis Mills, and then Cleveland Browns would have him backing up Baker Mayfield. And in case if they go down or they look bad, they can bring Jordan Love out and give him another shot. So this is perfect for both sides. I believe it's a win-win for an AFC team to trade for Jordan Love. First of all, Jordan Love is not going to ever play with the Packers as long as Aaron Rodgers is under contract and as long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy, because there's no reason why Aaron Rodgers' job is locked down with the contract that he has. It's not a doesn't matter how bad Aaron Rodgers plays, he's going to continue to have the job, and Jordan Love is going to be their backup, and he's not going to sign another contract with the team. Now, he was a first round draft pick, so I mean, Packers can technically bring him back on a fifth-year option and have him for 5 years. Yeah, well, he's not going to stay longer than 5 years to be a backup quarterback in a place where he does not where he can't compete for the position. So him being traded to a team like Indianapolis or Pittsburgh and being a backup quarterback to one of their bridge quarterbacks or Houston or Cleveland is a great spot for him to go. And I'm all in for that, because here's the thing when it comes to Jordan Love. What is he even worth? Because the team's not going to give up a first round draft pick for a quarterback who has not looked good so far. Now, again, he's had very limited play time. So I'm not saying that he's not, that he doesn't have potential. I'm saying that he's not worth a first round draft pick right now. A team could give up like a third round draft pick for Jordan Love, or maybe a second round, and you can get their first round draft pick and then throw Jordan Love into the trade or something like that. Like, he's not worth a whole lot. And these AFC teams should at least attempt to trade for Jordan Love, because, yeah, well, he had a great tape in Utah. Not only did he have a great tape in Utah, but that man is built like an NFL quarterback. I believe off the top of my head, he's 6'4", 200 something pounds, 10.5-inch hands or something like that. This is a couple years ago. That was great in the combine. And even Todd McVay, Todd McShay, whatever dude's name is with ESPN, had him ranked as the second best quarterback in the 2020 draft class, only behind Joe Burrow. Yes, that's above Justin Herbert. So, yes, he has potential. He has a very high upside, and we have not seen it yet, but his ceiling is very high, and him going to a team like Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Houston, Cleveland is a great spot for him to go. Now, not to say that he's not going to be traded into the NFC, because we've seen teams trade within their conference. It just doesn't typically happen. But there are teams that have showed interest in quarterbacks, like Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers have wanted a quarterback. Obviously, Seattle Seahawks now with Drew Lock being their starter, they want someone to back up Drew Lock because he's going to get injured this next year. Plus, he's not going to be their franchise guy. And then outside of that, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is in need of a quarterback now. They're not going to be starting Kyle Trask next year after Tom Brady's retirement. That's a no-go from what we've seen from him so far. And then Saints as well are also in need of a quarterback, as they're not going to bring Jameis Winston back simply because they don't have the money. So if it was my prediction, if I was predicting what would happen with Jordan Love, I believe by the start of the regular season, Jordan Love will be traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Jordan Love will be traded to the Indianapolis Colts and back up Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe the Colts make 2 trades for quarterbacks. You know, I'm switching it now. I'm going with the Steelers. Jordan Love is going to be traded to the Steelers, and he's going to back up Marcus Mariota. That's going to be my prediction. I believe the Steelers, no question, are going to look to a quarterback, a starting quarterback in this year's free agency or in a trade. It's going to happen. And there's a couple quarterbacks that we can mention here. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo is just one of the quarterbacks that could be traded, but he's going to be a starter somewhere, and Jordan Love should be a backup where he can be given an opportunity. Maybe Houston, maybe Cleveland. Those are some more options. Because especially with right now, I mean, we talk a lot on how bad this upcoming draft class is when it comes to quarterbacks. Like when you look at all the quarterbacks in this upcoming draft class, is there anybody you want to start day one? No, I'm not saying none of these players are going to work out. I believe that, like I've said, I believe one of these players is going to be a gem in the mix. I believe one of these players in this next draft class is going to shine and be a future franchise quarterback for their team. But at the end of the day, I don't believe any of these quarterbacks from what I've seen. Now, I'm not the biggest when it comes to evaluating college quarterbacks, but from what I've seen, I don't want to start any of these quarterbacks day one. And I don't believe any franchises should. Now, if you bring in a bridge quarterback and have him as a backup, that's a little bit different. We talk a lot on this upcoming draft class, but we don't talk a lot on this upcoming free agency class and how bad it is as well. Because, for example, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, he's a free agent every year. Why? Because he's an injury prone, aging player who's going to go to a team and get injured and someone's going to back him up. Like, this is undoubtedly going to happen. Same goes for Teddy Bridgewater. These are two names that are free agents every year that you simply don't want to have on your team because they're injury prone, aging players, like I've said. But if you do have them on your team, you want a player like Jordan Love to back him up, a player that can step in midway through the season and hopefully look better, look better than Ryan Fitzpatrick and Teddy Bridgewater. Love the guys to death. They are great leaders. I will always love Fitzmagic and I will always love Teddy. I love the guys. They're great leaders. But man, injury-prone, aging quarterbacks is a terrible thing to have on your team. That is awful. That is what you do not want, especially nowadays. That is what you do not want with how important the quarterback position is. Outside of that, Marcus Mariota, Mitchell Trubisky, these are quarterbacks that I wouldn't be surprised if they start next year. Yeah, that's Mitchell Trubisky. Would we have ever expected Trubisky to get another starting opportunity in the NFL? No. But now people are talking about him maybe starting for the Colts next year. I mean, we never thought this was going to happen, but with how thin it is at quarterback right now, with how thin the league is, it's just there's not great options when it comes to quarterbacks, which is why Jordan Love is a underrated name to mention here, because he's not Green Bay. The best thing Green Bay can do with Jordan Love right now is trade him away. Let's be honest, he's not going to stick with the team. Rodgers is under contract for 4 years. Well, he hasn't signed the contract yet, but from what we've heard, it's a 4-year contract. Yeah, Jordan Love is not going to stay there. Your Packers should trade him away. And yeah, they're not going to get very much from him, but a team could definitely swing on Jordan Love and see if they can hit him and hopefully, for their sake, be the next franchise guy. Let me know what y'all think.